No, a well implemented search engine optimization strategy will put you on the map. It will make your website rank high all season. And we've been seeing some debates which say that Google is changing the algorithm so fast. And if Google changes the algorithm so fast, this can affect your search traffic. But that is not the case, because if you have a well implemented long term search engine optimization strategy, you will survive those turbulent times when Google changes things. So in this video, I'm going to take you through some of the few things that makes the search engine optimization strategy something that's long term and something that will last for years to come. So 5 years from now or 6 years from now, your strategy will still generate value, and it will still bring revenue for your brand, for your company, and your firm. So let's dive deeper into it. The first thing that you have to realize is that besides the keywords, links, and what else? Besides the keywords, links, schema, search engine optimization has a certain core, which is value. When you provide value, you have a higher chance of ranking high on Google. And apart from ranking high on Google, you will also provide insights that solves solutions, that solves problem for your customers. So the reason why customers and website visitors come to your website is because they're looking for certain solutions. So if you give them the solutions that they want, they're more likely to come back to your website, because you've proven that your website is valuable enough to solve some of the problems that they're having. So the core search engine optimization, you have value. That is why Google also focuses on EEAT, which means experience, expertise, authority, and trust. It's just the same thing as value. So besides every other thing that's in SEO, you can say that the primary thing that you have to focus on is value. And value doesn't sway with the tides. Value is always value. It will always be valuable. So whatever happens, if Google changes the algorithm, or if Google adds another update, something valuable will always be something valuable all throughout. So there's no doubt on that, and there's no debate on that. And because something valuable will always be valuable, your content marketing efforts and what you publish on your website will mature like fine wine. You see how fine wine matures. After 100 years, it becomes more valuable. After 200 years, it becomes more valuable than it was 100 years ago. So this is the same thing with the content that you're publishing on your website, which is first and foremost, the first thing that your content should aim to do is to solve a certain problems that your potential customers and website visitors are facing. Then once it solves that, you can now incorporate other search engine optimization strategies and tactics over here and there. So back to the point of maturing like fine wine. You see, I'm quite sure in your life you've read some books that were published maybe like in the 15th century or in the 16th century, but they age like fine wine because entertaining enough to retain that value throughout in centuries. 5 centuries after they were published and put out there, they still retain the value that they had initially. That's the reason why I find some works that are so entertaining, like Shakespeare, because they've retained that value all throughout the ages. Now, once website visitors come to your website and realize that, you know what, this brand or this company in this industry publishes valuable information, they're more likely to refer it to other people. Since value is value, it will always increase. Actually, it increases with time. They will recommend it to other people, and other people will come. Initially, well you had like let's say like 100,000 monthly visits, now turns into 300k monthly visits. After that, it turns to 400k, 500k monthly visits, because you're providing value. That is one of the reasons why I'm saying it's a long-term strategy, because you have to give it time so that it matures and it gains traction. The more it gains traction, the more visitors come to your site to check out what you've published. The more you get more website visitors, the more your website ranks higher on Google. Because remember that Google also wants to provide value to its web users. And as you get more website visitors, this is like an indicator to Google that you're providing something that has a lot of value. So it will say, you know what, this brand knows what it's doing, so let's put it out there. Let's put it on our platform. Let's make it rank high. And before you know it, you're getting more website visitors. So that's one of the reasons why matures like fine wine. Now the second thing is written form content can be repurposed and republished on other platforms. For instance, if you've published your work on your website, you can repurpose it and republish it on LinkedIn, Twitter, which is now called X, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. It's just the same thing that these big movie franchises always do with their hits. Marvel has a lot of Spider-Man movies, which are very interesting. The same thing with DC. Maybe in the 90s or in the early 2000s, we had a Superman TV show, and in the past few years, we've also seen some Superman TV movies. Yeah, they're movies. So this is the same thing. You can do the same thing with your you can do the same thing with your written form content. You can repurpose it into other forms. If you've written an article, you can take certain segments and turn it into short form videos that can be published on Instagram and TikTok. Apart from that, you can repurpose the whole blog post into a video form. That is the same thing that I always do with my articles. After publishing articles on a platform like Medium, I'll shoot a video that goes deeper into the blog post that I've published. So you can, and this gives me access to potential customers in different platforms. I can get access to potential customers in Instagram. I can get access to potential customers in YouTube because I've repurposed my blog posts into video forms. That is also an example of how something matures like fine wine. It can be repurposed, it can be reused, and the more it's reused, the more it gives you access to more potential customers. The more you get more potential customers coming to your website, the more you can turn them into customers and retain them. And the more you can retain them, the more your revenue increases. So it's something, it's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. Now, the second thing is your domain authority will improve with time. So domain authority is the influence that your website has on search engine. It's a measure from 0 to 100. So the higher the score, the higher the domain authority. One of the few things that is always used to measure the domain authority is the value that you're providing, of course, to your potential customers. Now, the second thing is the links that are pointing back to your website. Links are like referrals of what you're doing and what you've done. They vouch for you. It's the same thing like getting someone to do something for you, and when they do a good job, you recommend them to friends. Now, in the search engine world, that kind of recommendation is noticed as a link, and Google notices this. So the more links you have put into your website, the more it has more referrals, which means that you're providing something valuable. So the more you publish, the more website visitors come to your website, the more your website matures in some way, and your domain authority will improve with time. Because if you go from something like 100k monthly visits to 300k monthly visits, this basically shows the Google that you're doing something valuable. That's the reason why people are coming to your website. And once that is noticed, your domain authority will increase. Now, the good thing about domain authority is this: the higher the domain authority, the easier it becomes to rank on Google, even if website visitors have not yet come to your website. So if you have a high domain authority, you can publish something new and it will still appear in the first pages of Google. That is one of the reasons why it's good to build your domain authority and build it with value. So with 2 years, 3 years of consistent publishing and putting content out there, your domain authority will mature enough so that when you publish an article, it appears on Google without a lot of work. Apart from that, your domain authority also increases the chances of being cited by AI platforms such as ChatGPT and Perplexity and the upcoming AI platforms, because you're basically showing them that you're providing something valuable. So the higher the domain authority, the easier it becomes to be cited. And domain authority is built by value, so you don't have necessarily to worry about the links and other technicalities that might go into domain authority. Just focus on providing valuable information and publishing valuable articles that solve problems of the website visitors who are target audience and your potential customers. Now, the third thing is recurring conversion rate. The reason why SEO is a long-term strategy is because of a recurring conversion rate. Now, you will get to a point where you've gotten enough views. Some of your posts will be getting consistent views in a month, and out of those monthly views, you know a certain percentage will be customers. They will either buy a service from you or buy a product from you. Now that is the recurring conversion rate. You publish a single article, it gains traction, and once it gains traction, it has a certain conversion rate month in, month out. So you'll be very sure of the amount of revenue that you can make from a single post, because it keeps on generating revenue for you. Maybe you publish a single piece like in like 2 years ago, and the content piece attracts more visitors to your site, attracts more visitors to your site, attracts more visitors to your site, and those visitors in the end they turn into customers because they buy something from you. Now you see you have a single post that works passively for you. Now the only thing that you need to do over here is maybe just to upgrade it or to update the information here and then. Maybe like a few things that you might have changed. But besides that, some few posts will regenerate revenue for you. It's just like writing a book, and you know the book will be bought. So it's just the same thing, but this time you're using articles to attract customers and to turn them into okay, you're using an article to attract leads and turn them into customers, so it will be recurring for you. Yeah, so those are the three things we've talked about. Your content maturing like fine wine. We've talked about recurring conversion rate, and we've also talked about what is the third thing? A domain authority, which improves the time. So with those three strategies, you can easily use your SEO and websites to attract leads and turn them into customers who will generate revenue year in and year